Yes, I am copying this idea from a YouTuber who's more successful than me, but I was bored and it looked fun. So anyway, here's what your Dragon Shield sleeves say about you. You are the cleanest motherfucker at your locals. You wash and dry your hands after touching anything that isn't your cards, and you have a slight panic attack whenever someone touches your cards because they have to cut the deck. You bought these sleeves for functionality and nothing else. You bought these sleeves for functionality and nothing else. It doesn't matter what you call these, it doesn't make you look any cooler. Maybe instead of buying sleeves, you should buy a personality. I feel like because you use clear sleeves, you are the slightest bit pretentious. Not in like a bragging way, but you definitely look at other people's sleeves and be like, oh, your sleeves is your favorite color? Well, mine show the back of the card as God intended. And to be honest, to all the rest of us, your cards look naked. Please put some colored sleeves on them. It's a little bit cunty, not gonna lie, but you definitely wanted something dark that wasn't black just so you could stand out a little bit, but also be a bit subtle, which is good. I definitely approve of that. Also, you probably play a magic user in any TTRPG you play. You are very outwardly happy, but will violently correct someone if they dare call your sleeves just blue. You say, just blue? Just blue? Motherfucker, it's turquoise. I didn't specially pick out these sleeves for you to call them the wrong color. And if you call them just blue again, I will turn your face just blue. Half of the time of you buying a deck is dedicated solely to picking out the correct sleeves and deck boxes to match the vibe of your new deck. There is currently a deck box on your shelf that only has sleeves in it, just waiting for you to buy that new deck. You are also probably neurodivergent, but you refuse to get a diagnosis. You're unique, but not in a bad way. You swap out decks every 1 to 2 months because you want to try the new stuff, and it's not going to stop you from accessorizing. Right now, you have an entire shelf taken up by unique and quirky deck boxes that you bought from Etsy, which, while it is slay, I do want to remind you that you have bills to pay. You're a scaly. Anyone who uses red sleeves is obsessed with dragons. Your favorite Pokemon is probably Charizard, and your favorite Digimon is somewhere in the Greymon line. You picked out Dragon Shield sleeves purely because they were called Dragon Shield and for literally no other reason. You probably don't go out to many events because you much prefer to play in your own home. The constant chatter from events drives you insane, and the smell of sweat makes you feel like you want to shower for the next year. Fitting, because this choice is criminal. I like the color orange too, but just because you dress your deck to look like it's wearing a high-vis jacket doesn't mean it's not going to get stolen. Be honest, this isn't your favorite Dragon Shield sleeve color. You purely picked this one out because you can't stand the thought of having a white, grey, or black colored deck, so you wanted something a bit more shiny and pizzazz, but you really didn't want to give your deck that new personality. You are definitely some shade of LGBTQIA+, but you are very subtle about it. You won't bring it up in conversation, but if someone asks you about it, you are not going to hold back. You have definitely been on Grindr for some amount of time, that includes you ladies. You've made out with someone who is the same gender as you multiple times, and you've had sex with someone and had to ask their name afterwards. Pretentious asshole! This is the type of person who has max rarity versions of every single card in their deck, could sell their entire collection and retire at the age of 2, and every time there are new extortion cards coming out, they're the type to be like, oh yeah, these cards should be cheaper, and then buy them anyway. You're probably actually a really interesting person, but please, for God's sakes, take one confidence class. You are terrified at asking your opponent for a response to anything, and you lay awake at night thinking about that one time where your opponent's gone, hang on, I have a response, and you are too awkward to ask. You have far more self-control than I do. These sleeves make your deck look like chocolate, and you are telling me that you have the willpower to resist gnawing at the cards in your hand at every available opportunity? You're also probably a teddy bear, and everyone at your locals loves you. It doesn't matter what you call it, it's still just purple, but I'm gonna hazard a guess that you love gemstones and tarot cards, and you probably spend way too much money at Halloween. You also have a Chapel Roan vinyl, your dream job is to be a barista, and you would sell your soul if it meant Rhea Ripley would step on you. What do you say about someone who chose these skin-colored sleeves as part of their deck, other than, you know, I'm calling the police? You make poor financial decisions. Pick one color, please. This is just purple for boys. You probably play dinosaurs or vampires. You have a collection of cool rocks that you found out on walks. You are the type to pick up a stick and wave it around with optional lightsaber noises. And you will do anything but go to therapy. It doesn't matter what you call it, it is still just green. But you are probably one of the most chill guys at your locals, and you have a favorite pet deck that you exclusively go to that locals to play. And the only way you are going to change that deck is if they pry it from your cold, dead hands. You are definitely LGBTQIA+ in some regard, and you have the accent to boot. You probably quote Drag Race on a regular basis, you are very loud, and you have knocked yourself out more than once trying to do a death drop while drunk. You like to think you're cultured, but in reality you don't know the first thing about these paintings, and you just wanted pattern sleeves that weren't a monocolor, and you couldn't stray away from your ever so reliable brand name sleeves. You likely have some form of ADHD and will regularly lose your matches because you were too busy admiring how cute your sleeves were instead of paying attention to what your opponent was doing. Go get a diagnosis, sweetheart, because honestly, you could just walk in there, show them the sleeves that your deck have, and they will give you it on the spot. You are the embodiment of Thing Japan. If you bought your partner a deck with these sleeves on them and they still have these sleeves on to this day, then that bitch is dedicated. You need to get a ring on that finger ASAP. You are the worst type of person. You are the type of person to bring a hold hands deck to the table, say, let's all have fun everyone, but the only reason you are holding their hands is so that your soon-to-be former friends can't escape while you commit war crimes that would make North Korea blush. Editing Banunkie here at 1 AM, realizing that I forgot to record the segment for Yellow Sleeve, so here we go. Yellow is often used in nature to signal a creature is dangerous, and you are no exception. You don't care about winning because you're playing stun and your only goal is to make the next 40 minutes to an hour agony. So that's what your Dragon Shield sleeves say about you. Speaking of which, if you'll excuse me, I have a reservation at the Jasmine Dragon.